Yet another question where we have a period. So we have something to check right away. Do we have complete sentences or not? Let's take a look. In 1955, Indian Bengali filmmaker something Ray released his first movie, Pather Panchali. Yeah, sounds like a sentence. Sounds like it ended there, right? So that seems good. So, right, check. Second part. A quiet black and white drama about a family in rural India, Ray's film was quite different from the loud, colorful action romance movies that were popular at the time. This is also a sentence, but oh boy, is there a trap here, right? Because what they want you to do is I'm going to highlight this in pink. This is an extra clause, right? Where it says, I'm going to highlight it in C because that's the trap. A quiet black and white drama about a family in rural India. So let's even write the in so we can see it. That is basically an appositive. Okay, we have other rules about appositives. And a lot of those rules involve whether or not we have commas and whatnot. But here it's less about that and much more about whether this appositive ends the first sentence or starts the second one. In another world, in another set of these sentences, it could have easily gone at the end of the first sentence, right? And if you read it, it sounds fine. In 1955, Indian Bengali filmmaker Ray released his first movie, Pather Panchali, a quiet black and white drama about a family in rural India. That sounds fine. And that's why this is a trap answer, choice C, because if you read it and just listen for how it sounds fine. And putting a comma there instead of a period is probably how you would want to write this sentence yourself. But that's why we always have to read the entire thing when we're checking for sentence structure, because somewhere along the way, we might encounter another sentence. So even though this clause that I've highlighted in pink sounds better ending the first sentence, we have no choice. We have to make it the lead off for the second sentence because we've already got two sentences here. And only choice D allows us to separate those sentences in a valid grammatical way, and that is with a period. We can't use just a comma. And if we use the which, it basically throws things off in really weird ways. It doesn't solve the problem there being two sentences. It just makes the appositive sound weirder. I think probably most people are going to eliminate that. But yeah, it's also wrong. Which is not a word like and that allows us to join two sentences together with a comma, which is its own thing. It is basically just used for extra clauses. So we're not looking to, we know we have an extra clause already, but we're looking then, how can we join the two sentences together? There's no other way to do it except to separate them with the period. So very important to predict the rule correctly here. You see me wag my finger because people get this wrong because they don't follow my advice. If you just look at the choices before you start solving, you can avoid this trap entirely, because as soon as you see that period, you're like, oh, I got to look for sentences. And then that trap doesn't really exist for you because you're listening for those sentences and you're not stopping short. Well, as soon as you hear something you like, you're continuing all the way to the end and hearing the two sentences and avoiding the trap.